Alright, so everyone your page. Nice.
Good. Comments will appear here.
Yeah, the comments will go.
Let me make sure the volume is up.
Right. So let me just make sure that you know I am your page.
Share the live. Share.
You think it's easy? You know. I know about it. Go ahead. I know.
Yes, pleasant good night to each and everyone. As soon as you get in, remember to share the live so that we can get started as early and as quick as possible.
Most of the branches.
Tonight I have a tag team with me. Hi Glitter, hi Camille, hi Joyce, hi Sharda. Hi Sharda.
Hey, good night, Miss Sharda.
Margaret, Wendell Williams.
Let me see. Yeah, Cynthia Elliott.
Yes man, 18, we going strong. Come on, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24.
It's gonna be hot.
Share the live.
Shed.
You get it as yet, everyone?
Don't give me seated at all.
I'm trying to give one of the best angle.
No, that's good. That's good.
That looking good,
Yeah,
right?
that's looking good.
Folks, we are under the moonlight at a disclosed location. Friend birthday tonight. So we decided that we will do the live right here under the moonlight because both of us are running late and both of us had planned to do live tonight. So you're getting a double whammy or a double treat tonight. Okay, so we have 31 and I know the numbers is going to continue to grow. So let us get started. Hi Marvin, hi Donna. Hi Donna. Hi Wayne.
Now pick it up.
You pick it up?
Yeah, now pick
Good.
it up. So it's here on my page.
Okay, so those of you who would prefer to see the live on the YouTube, you can always go on the Fearless Warrior page and you would see it from there as well. So let's get started. We have 34 strong on our live right now. Good night to everyone. Of course, you know, I am Juliet and you know I have to ask you, how you all doing? Yes, tonight I have with me my friend. Hi Lennox, hi Glenda, hi Anthony. Anthony, sorry I didn't return your call, but you see what I'm doing. We'll chat later on. Yes. Right. So I have a tag team with me.
Yes.
And no other than the Fearless Warrior. So you're getting like a double treat tonight, a 2-in-1 package. And of course we're going to be discussing the most contentious issue in the country right now in our national and political landscape, the appointment of a new commissioner of police and the fact that it has degenerated to new levels.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, so let me just introduce Mr. Fearless Warrior so he can give his introduction.
Well, I want to say special good night. It's the first time actually happening. There's history in the making where we actually have two strong contenders because we had to say
Social
contenders.
media.
Social media because but
Hey.
it's all good, trust me. Share it, let people know that we here, we outside, and we're gonna talk some serious topic tonight.
Hi Wendy. Hi Ola. Alexa. What a name.
Listra Blake.
Yes, Istra.
Listra.
Listra. Same thing. Nicole. Hi Nicole. Hi Devon. Devon looking on the live.
But how are you watching it?
Anyway, let's get started because you know we have 1 hour to do this.
Yes.
Because curfew hour is going to be coming up.
Yes.
Okay, folks, tonight, what's the topic? Well, of course, you all would know that the appointment of Commissioner of Police is outstanding. And of course, let me tell you the stage that it is at Devon. It has been stymied because of
legal battle with Ramasa
with
in the
Ramasa,
court.
right? Because I think he was thrown out or put out of the process.
Yes.
And they have all shortlisted.
Yes, they have
a few
shortlisted a few names.
Right. So they cannot go forward, of course, until that judicial review or whatever constitutional motion, whatever it is, has been finalized in the court.
Yes.
All right. You can continue, Devon.
So that is just one of the persons. And then we have a next man who is threatening. He's literally threatening the police service commission, and he is also, so he say he giving them 24 hours. 24 hours to respond.
I think it was up until noon today.
Noon today.
Exact. Yes.
Right. In order to say whether or not if he's going to be appointed or not. And
I don't know if he's a vampire and is afraid of the
dam.
The light.
Yeah. So you don't want to wait until tomorrow. Because remember, all cockroaches will not be allowed to enter no buildings.
Yes.
So Bob has been already ordered. I will be downtown Port of Spain early in the morning at 7 o'clock. So I am going to walk with that cockroach repellent and the powder to make sure that no cockroaches enter. Yes, no cockroaches enter the building. And I've already asked that Mr. McDonald Jacob put a chair that is separate in our next place, just in case he comes. You know?
Just in case cockroach walks in.
Yes, just in case cockroach walks in.
Yes.
And, so we can mash them quick. We don't want no cockroaches appearing and thing.
Yes.
But the thing about it is that, really, and Juliet, let me talk some serious issue, The thing about it, Juliet...
Let's see if I can get you on the camera. Right, go ahead.
Right. No, but the thing about it, Juliet, is that this man, his appointment has come to an end. But yet still, he is fighting to remain in what?
Who is this man?
Gary Griffith.
All right, before we even go further, keep it trend of thought. Let me just remind folks that this is a commentary based on our national landscape and what the narrative, the conversation that is out there right now. So we just want to put that in the mix.
Yes. Because we know people like to bring pre-action protocol letters and all these different things. So we are being very cautious, and we must comment on what is happening in the national public, because here it is. This is something of national security.
Interest,
in fact. This is of something of national security. And if people don't take this thing seriously,
yes,
this has dire consequences that will take place.
Trinidad and Tobago. For Trinidad and Tobago.
So here it is. A police commissioner, well, a former police commissioner, because I call him former, has been making threats and talking about there's a plot. That there's a plot, to actually oust him as the police commissioner.
But could you oust someone whose contract already ended?
No,
how can you oust an oust? If you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, because
the contract ended. So what plot is there to remove you? Well, is it that he take it for granted that because he was given some extension in terms of acting commissioner, that he believes that he has some entitlement to the position?
Well, he believes that he is entitled to that position. So here it is now. We are seeing the big wigs. Some big wigs win and come out in the form of Ramesh,
Lawrence Maraj, Lala, Kenneth Lala. I think it's not Kenneth.
Lala.
It's
I think it's Lala.
One of the Lalas.
Larry Lala.
Larry Lala, that's the man.
And one other person.
Yes.
So some big wigs have now emerged on the scene. We see Munilal jump in the forefront, stating that he has taken a position apparently supporting him.
No, as a matter of fact, he's not supporting him, but he has also put the narrative out in the public domain that there is a plot to oust Mr. Griffith.
Right. And same Gary Griffith is using the same narrative now of the plot to be ousted.
Right. And not forgetting as well that there is a new figure that has also joined into the brouhaha which is a social and political activist known to be part of the United National Congress, which is Ravi Balgobin. And he is being representative by attorney Anand Ramlogan.
So, but wait now. But if it is that Anand Ramlogan,
people trying to don't go so far as yet.
Yeah.
Because what you now told the viewers is that Mr. Griffith has retained
the big
high
wigs,
profile lawyers, the big wigs. And you know when you hear Ramesh Lawrence Mirage, you start to tremble in your boots. And when you hear Larry Lala, you know, you're telling yourself, well, you know, trouble is coming. But I think it would be remiss of us, Devon, if we carry on this conversation and not remind the people of Trinidad and Tobago that this same Gary Griffith tried this same trick before he was appointed commissioner some years ago, and he's just only recycled his tactics.
Yes.
Okay. So what happened 3 years ago? You can remember what
Well,
happened?
he carried them to court on the same matter because he wanted to know, well, okay, how come he and he showed where he was actually in the rankings, everything.
Right.
So now he is showing where he's he's still in the ranking.
No, but back then he was not positioned to be the commissioner of police.
No,
Thank you. I want people to understand.
He wasn't positioned to be the police commissioner at that point in time.
And what he did?
He carried them to court.
Oh, on what grounds?
That it was
that he was more qualified,
yes,
and XYZ and whatnot, right? Okay.
Yes, he was.
Right.
So,
and some kind of issue happened with some where the scores was,
yes, and he produced the scores and
how was he able to produce the scores?
Because somebody would have given him
leak the scores, not give him, say the words that it's connected, leak
the scores.
Yes, leak the scores.
Yes, somebody put it in the mailbox and leak it in.
Right, thank you very much. So, but initially he was not to be sitting in the commissioner's chair, but because of the legal actions that he took, because he wasn't at the top of the list.
No, he wasn't at the top. He was number 4.
Right. People need to remember these things.
He was number 4.
Right. So, what is happening again? He wants to continue on as commissioner of police because he has a larger than life ego, and he wants to be commissioner for life because he is Gary Griffith and nobody else, McDonald, Jacob or Erla Christopher, none of them cannot deal with crime in Trinidad and Tobago like how Gary Griffith could deal with crime. So again, he's coming back to try the old tactics again to try to get himself to be back in the commissioner's chair.
But not only that, Juliet, he also lied to the public.
Don't forget to share, you know, because the whole of Trinidad and Tobago have to get the real deal, and on the only way we're getting the real deal is from ordinary people on the ground. You're not going to get that from the intellectuals. Share the live, let the whole of Trinidad and Tobago get a better understanding of what is taking place with Gary Griffith and the appointment of Commissioner of Police.
And what he did, he lego a tape into the public domain, stating that the Minister Hines contacted him only to realize, and I will play that video on our next live, where it is the minister would have stated, because it's in the public domain, the minister would have stated it was Gary Griffith who contacted him. So if Gary Griffith contacted him, then why is Gary Griffith trying to implicate the minister in a debacle that he, Gary Griffith, has found himself? Because if you want to
ask you something, it really matters who contacted who.
Well,
because the minister, as far as I understand, based on, because it's two things,
yes,
his appointment comes from the
Police Service Commission, yes,
but the Ministry of National Security also have some administrative aspect dealing with his leave and his gratuity and his payment.
But remember, he working for the Ministry of National Security.
Right. So does it matter really who called you and who didn't call you?
No, well, what he's trying to use is technicality in the law.
Right, okay.
And by using technicality in the law, he's trying to say that the minister tried to use his influence to tell him that he cannot, that he ought to be on leave, extended leave, when the minister cannot do that. And
All
the
right.
minister was clear with that.
Okay, so let me zoom into this. When he did that, what I think he did in effect, because he and Munilal and they have already planted in the mind of the population that there is a plot. And so when he did mention politicians,
Yes.
police officers, mobsters and activists and a whole number of people he identified. So when you put this in the public domain that Mr. Hines tell you, don't come back out, what it is technically saying that you're giving people the interpretation that Mr. Hines or the PNM is part of that
plot not to make you back the
thank you,
police
that
commissioner.
mom not to make you back the police commissioner.
Because
Come on, man, we on the street here and we understand language.
Yeah.
You bring them kind of talk to we, because we gonna mash it up, fine like chili baby.
And that is the narrative that he's put in the public domain, and then he continues to put more and more things in the public domain. But up to now, he cannot produce the contract.
What contract?
The contract that
the one before the one now from now?
Well, the one before and the one that now.
Because Ravi Balgobin talking about the contract.
In his document.
No, he's right. He's talking about the contract now.
Yes.
Produce the contract now that gives you authority to walk back in the
police
chair,
yeah.
the acting commissioner chair, as you want, as you threaten. Go ahead, Levon.
So if it is that he does not produce these things, he does not bring out the documents, he does not show these things, then what legal ground is he going to be standing on? And therefore, tomorrow, and let me tell you, I feel this man is bluffing. He is bluffing because he's trying to intimidate. Imagine you trying to intimidate the police service commission into giving you an appointment.
His employer, technically his employers.
Yeah, he's intimidating them.
His employers, he's intimidating them.
Yeah, by using all these tactics. And one of the things that was so mind-boggling that I trying to figure out, how you as a police commissioner could put into the public domain all these kind of things, that there's a plot, there's
you go right ahead.
There's a plot to oust you as the police commissioner. There's this, there's that. You put in all kind of things in the public domain. Isn't that not a threat to national security?
As someone who held the position as National Security Minister and is now holding the position as acting commissioner, police commissioner.
So one has to ask themselves the question, Juliet, is this man really fit
for the position that he's so fighting for?
And that is the thing. Now people will say that, okay, we against the man. No, it's not a matter of being against nobody. It is pure that there's something that is wrong. You have a man that is out of control. You understand? He's out of control and he must be dealt with immediately. And if it is...
When you say he must be dealt with immediately, I wanted to clarify.
All right, he must be dealt with immediately in terms of removal from the position as even the acting police commissioner, because he's a threat to national security.
He's a clear and pleasant danger.
Yes.
As someone said on one of the Facebook
of course, he's
comments.
a threat, because at the end of the day, who is to say that those men that he would have hired, those are people who are under
loyal to him.
So if it is that you have men who are loyal to you, and you have this new gang, because it is said that it was said by the
PS service, the police service commission, no, the police
complaints
authority. Hey, the one that is there now,
yes,
David West, that the police service is a gang. We are quoting, quote unquote.
Yes,
no, he said there's a gang, he said they are the biggest gang in the country.
So if it is that they are the biggest gang in the country, and a man who does not want to listen to him go and leave, then what is he fighting to go into the office for? And this is what people must be asking themselves the question, because let me tell you something. Anytime you have an employee in any organization that does not want to go and leave, no, that does want to go and leave, the insubordinate is the next one.
Yeah.
They don't want to take vacation. then there's something.
They don't want to shut them out.
You understand? There's something that is definitely wrong, and people need to check on that, because if there's an investigation, now they never said that Gary Griffith is under investigation.
It was clear in letter from Mr. Stanley John.
You understand? They never stated that Gary Griffith is under investigation.
So then why he jumping the gun?
Because.
But he have, Devon and viewers, Gary Griffith seem to have a problem in which he always jump in the gun.
Yeah.
Now, take for instance, you would have made some comments on your Facebook page. You didn't call any name.
No, I didn't call any name.
Right.
No.
You used the word top cup, I think it was, right?
Top cup, yeah.
Right. Ever since I've known myself and I've been reading newspaper articles, they use the word top cup sometimes, and you could never tell who they're talking about because there are several top cups.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
McDonald Jacob is a top cup. Earlier, Christopher is a top cup. My girlfriend, Archie is a top cup.
Yes.
Right? And a number of other police officers are top cup. Mr. Man jump out and issued you pre-action protocol letter.
Yes.
And said that inference, meaning that it is interpreted that you speaking about him.
Well, we actually had to battle it out in the courthouse, and what the kind of gag order that came, you had to actually break it down in the courthouse. So something that would have taken 4 minutes to deal with went to 45 minutes in the courthouse. And the thing about it was so thing is that he was asking for compensation. You asking a man who, and these fellas just feel like they can intimidate people.
Wait. You're going good, but let me finish. Because he seemed to have a pattern.
It is a pattern.
A jumping the gun pattern.
Of course.
And old people have a saying, I throw me corn, I ain't call no foul.
Exactly.
I don't understand what you answer for. What you answering for? So the other day, I put up a post. No, somebody put up a post and I responded to the post and say, words to the effect, it's not only that, it's sexualized and babies.
Yes.
Mr. Man jump out on my page and say, why you don't call names? Why you as a former commissioner of police
want somebody to
why you asking me to call names? Why that lie, sex and babies affected you so much that you jump out? Were you guilty?
Exactly.
Were you guilty of something? Because your name didn't call, right? And we have seen it over and over again where people make comments on social media, Alan Breezer and whoever, and you jump out at them. So you have a passion, you have this way about you that you like to jump the gun.
But my thing is, Juliet, and even to the people out there, my thing is, it is dangerous when you have a man with all this power, who wants to control power of over 9,000 officers.
Hey.
That is dangerous for a man to be controlling 9,000 officers and behaving in this reckless behavior towards the employer. So what you telling?
So he's a threat to our democracy.
He is a threat to the democracy right now.
To our democracy.
He is a threat. He is a threat. And anybody who's seeing that, because you're talking about police officers who may go against the grade and say, well, look, that is we boss. He does what we back. Be loyal to he. And you can have this thing. Now, I'm not saying that that is his intention, you know.
Yeah.
But in the real world,
you have to be
careful.
You have to be realistic.
At the end of the day, that is how you have uprisings.
We saw what happened down in Haiti.
Yes. Yes.
We saw what happened down in Haiti.
Yes. Yes. So one has to be careful with these kind of people, because you will have men now who will then form their own gang, and then all of a sudden, let me tell you something that people have to be also careful of and watch the politics. People not even watching the politics, because here it is. Watch the players who jump into the mix. Watch the players. Thank you.
Anan Ram Logan.
Thank you.
Larry Lala. Ravi Balgobin.
Thank you. watch the players who jump into the mix.
And those were players, mind you, who initially never supported him for the position of Commissioner of Police.
Thank you.
So you have to ask yourself the question now, Trinidad and Tobago, and sensible people, critical thinking people, out of the box thinking people, people who can analyze and dissect and whatever. You need to ask yourself the question, why are those people so much in love now with Gary Griffith that they want him? They want him, they want to side with him and to put out a narrative out there that there is a huge plot to oust him from the police service. Oust him from the police service in a contract that was for 3 years. The contract ended on August the 17th. I don't know how we could oust somebody who already outside.
But is it that, let me just tell you this, and they could say with a one, if it is that some of your men are being investigated, then you cannot have the man who is holding the leadership position in these kind of organizations still being in the position and want to go into the office on Monday morning to do what?
Let me ask you something. Coming out of the FUL, because it's two things, eh? The appointment of the commissioner, which is pending, and the investigation
into the FUL. Yes.
Right. Were there arrests coming out of that FUL allegations?
There were
some police officers who were arrested. Some 3 or 4 of them
sent home. Yes.
They were sent home.
They were sent home.
Were they arrested? Were they charged?
I think so.
Yes,
some
I
of them would have been charged.
2 or 3 of them were charged.
And then you had those who would have been charged for Andrew Morris and Joel Balcon matter.
Right.
And then you would have had the three officers, including a senior superintendent, who would have been charged for misuse of the vehicles on the people thing to transport all kind of heavy equipment operations across the country.
Right. In addition to which, there's also investigation with respect to the police service. Is it the legal officer?
Yes, the legal officer.
The legal officer
on the IC.
Thank you very much.
And the amount of guns that went on, the shootings on the IC.
Right. So the Police Service Commission are well within their rights to ask that
you step aside.
That you step aside. Notwithstanding, the officers who were arrested, were they SRPs?
Some of them would have been SRP, and look, Mark Hernandez, he would have been the head of the SWAT.
Right.
And you had a number of them would have been leading heads in certain things. But you remember the money that some of them stole from DSS too.
Right.
Where they were stashing all over the pocket.
Right.
So all these is things that is in the public domain.
And it is, and it gives, the point I'm trying to get here and to put out to the public, when you put these things together, you get an appreciation that what the Police Service Commission is attempting to do and what they asked him to do was justifiable.
Thank you. Because you cannot be sitting there, and this is what people are mixing up, the office with the person. If it is that he is the if he is the commissioner, he is in the office, he's holding the office because he's a SRP first. Because he's not a police officer, he's a SRP. And he's a special reserve police officer, so he should get a 3-year first. He's just holding the office of police commissioner. And by holding the office of police commissioner, if they ask you to just go and leave because there's an investigation into some of your men and certain information may have arisen, we don't know, I just saying, because it seems like some people is getting in their mailbox, so some leaders get everything in the mailbox too.
Oh, yeah.
So, if it is that certain information and people start to talk and birds start to sing, you know when they get them pepper, they chip, and names start to call, then one has to ask why you so want to go
adamant.
back.
Why you adamant that you must go back there?
In that office come Monday morning. Why? And Gary needs to tell us why he wants to go in that office. Is it to say that I am just Gary Griffin? And I could go inside here and I could do what I want and nobody could tell me nothing? Is that the whole plan? Or is it really to make sure that crime is under control in Trinidad and Tobago? Because you can't do a post on your own self and tell yourself that you get 80% and 20% didn't like it.
Kamala did that, you know.
Yeah, well,
she used a whole state media and millions of dollars spent to do that, you know, to say she's the most popular leader. She's more popular than Dr. Rowley. It turned out that she lost the 2015 general election and she lost about 13 elections after that against Rowley. Remember, Rowley wasn't popular, yeah?
Well, and one of the things that reached me today, one of the information that reached me today, and there's a mark that is going to be bossing, because I don't know where Mark Bassant is, because he seems not to be bossing any marks anymore. He gone silent. But
he had a thing called something.
Wait a second.
I will remember the name just
but
now.
This is a mark. There's certain people in this society has just gone cold. They gone cold.
Kim?
Well, I don't know. You understand?
No pun intended.
No, they
No
gone
pun
cold.
intended. They gone cold.
Yeah, they gone cold.
Yeah, it rhyme with Kim Cole.
Yeah, but you gotta ask who the hell is Kim? You understand? You gotta ask who is Kim. But
Oh, God.
Kim Cole seems to have gone silent because she ran out and she was attacking. Then we had Bart, Miss Bart. With, I can't remember if it's like K Bart.
Karen Barth.
Yeah.
She too has joined the chorus that there is a plot to remove the commissioner. But not only that, for the former commissioner, they are also saying that, you know, he was commissioner of police and his office he was secret and they don't want him to bust it, so they want to get rid of him. Come on, does that make any sense? If he has secret, if he has secret, then naturally you would want to keep him.
Yes.
Because you want to keep the secret.
Yes.
So then how you can tell me it have a plot to remove him, but yet still tell me he have secrets for them politicians and them, so they want to get rid of him? That making any sense?
That ain't making no sense. That means he have secrets that he may not want to come out, and it may be hidden in the drawer. Because you see, let me tell you something, now I'm not casting no aspersion, and I want to make it very clear. But this is a conspiracy theory that I will go down. This is a conspiracy theory that I will go down. Now, if it is, the chuma for that call, David. No, the chuma for that call, David.
It happens.
But the thing about it, let me go back to this thing with this mark that needs to bust.
Right.
And I want to bust this mark tonight. Now, it is said that the commissioner gets a fund. The commissioner gets a fund.
Or have a fund.
He has a fund that he could spend.
Well, not the commissioner, but the commissioner's office.
The commissioner's office
has a fund.
Has a fund.
The commissioner really has.
Right. He have money he could disburse, and he asking for a donation and all these different things. I am now asking the question, is it that this fund was being misused? I'm just asking the question that this fund was being misused to fund some people who in the media, because names will start to call it, names is going to be calling, because those who run out their hole as a girl named a girl who want to be a man who want to be a girl, I don't know, but those who run out the hole and run out the whole self, run into the public domain and only attacking those who talking about Gary. One has to ask themselves, where did they get their funding from? And this is why the Attorney General needs to bring that bill.
Explain
your wealth. Because those who live in high-rise apartments in Marval, and then they move from Marval and they going up in Valsane, and they're moving from Valsane and going all over the place, where are they getting their money from? But you see, as I said, sometimes things just go cold. But I will reveal it eventually. But this man, it seems to be out of control, Juliet. He is out of control.
It seems is no longer part of the sentence there. He's out of control.
And really, I think the time has come, seriously,
for the Police Service Commission to let him go. Because I'll tell you something, you can't put your employers in disrepute.
No.
You cannot put the organization which you are the head of, the CEO, in disrepute, right? And this larger than life character that is Gary Griffith, this ego that he is now exhibiting, well, he has always exhibited it, but this ego and this pulling of ranks on your employers, right? That cannot happen.
No, it
Devon,
can't. It can't.
It cannot happen. We must be clear about that as a society. There are do's and there are do's and there are don'ts, and that is one of the don'ts, right? You cannot be coming and threatening your employers in that manner. No, it is one thing to have industrial relations issues that you take up with your employers, but it's another thing to bring your employers into public odium and disrepute, right? Cast aspersion on their characters, telling the nation that they're plotting, to oust you. Not only that, your employers see it fit to run an investigation involving things that is bringing the image of the police service into disrepute as well. And they are saying to save the police service image, which is already wounded and battered and worn, we are going to address the serious issues of the allegations involving money for full. Right? Taking money for full, whatever the case may be. You is now being seen as an obstructionist to that.
Yes. Yes.
The fact that you telling them if by noon tomorrow, and I Western talk, the last time I hear people talk about moon is in a Western, from how much 100 years ago. Well, I'm so old, but you're not exaggerating, right? When I used to go Odeon with my father and watch them cowboy and them shoot out, you understand? I think that one of the Western called high moon.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So by moon tomorrow, like a real Western gunslinger
movie,
you telling the Police Service Commission, you get them by so and so tomorrow, and you also went so far. Now listen to this part, Devon. I give you until noon tomorrow. But remember, keep in mind, people, the Police Service Commission launched an investigation into allegations involving police officers.
Yes.
Some of them belonging to Gary's SWAT team. Right.
The elite team that he brings.
Right. So if
many of them,
right, and if they don't rescind the suspension, he's going to take them to court. And what he's going to ask them in the court, he's going to ask them to give him to allow him to go back into the chair, go back into the chair, and until they come up with the final decision in the court. So why does technically you really fighting? Because just a couple weeks ago, people who just listen, no, I don't watch it. I don't watch it, I don't really listen to Alexander.
Yes, Johnny Bravo and
them. Right? Just, I think a couple, if it's a week long, because I did put up a post, I think September 9th.
Yes, yeah.
We in September what?
Today's the 19th.
10 days ago. Right. 10 days ago? Yeah, September 9, 10 days ago. I put up a post where I lie down in my bed and I hear in my mother TV because she loves Alexander. And I hear in the rerun playing. And I call her calling and said to Alexander that we cannot compare apples to grapes, because Alexander was making a point about the criminal free to do this and the criminal free to do that, but when the police do X, Y, Z, everybody want to wherever, and the police, right? And I think he had asked Gary was in part of that interview sometime before or after. I don't know how the thing go, because as I said, I just want to just hear that from one bedroom to the next bedroom. And they were trying, Alexander was asking Gary if he can do something to protect police officers. I want to bring it in line with what I was now explaining to you there. He want to know if Gary can do something in which they could protect police officers, because many police officers ending up like Hernandez when they do they walk. Something to that effect. So I am saying, I am watching Gary's behavior, right? And all I am seeing is that you were commissioner of police, your boss is telling you what's going on. Rest up so temporarily. Larry run a little investigation, so you also know that Ramisa had it in court, so it's on a lull. It's timely right now. Chill out. But instead, you having this aggressive approach. I want to go back in. What are we to believe? How are we to interpret Gary's behavior?
Well, I think what it is interpreting for, and I want to make it clear that we are not going to cast aspersion on him, but in the public domain, on the man on the ground, hasn't the sense to believe that there's something that people not telling us, or somebody
want to protect something. Somebody want to protect something. Come on, these big people.
They have something to protect. And if it is that there are documents that might be in that office, and it might be in a drawer that is locked away, people need to get those information.
Let me tell you something, eh? I mean, we get kids and we laugh and we whatever, but let me tell you something. What we're talking about here is a very serious issue.
It is serious.
It involves not just the appointment. To me, the appointment of the Commissioner of Police takes second place to what the Police Service Commission is now telling us, and what the Police Service Commission has done, which is to launch an investigation into allegations of full corruption, which is the firearm users license corruption, in which officers were taking thousands of dollars from businessmen
and people on the ground,
to issue them legal firearms, right? This to me is paramount over Gary's issue. Gary issue is going to come up. Gary knows there's a process, right? And if Gary considers himself to be a serious police officer, because he always wants to give you this belief that he's upright and whatever, then why are you trying to frustrate the process? Why are you trying to frustrate the process? One must ask themselves these questions. And is it that you, Gary, have something to protect? And as I'm saying, 10 days ago, I listening to you and Alexander in a conversation, and Alexander telling you if you can find a way in which you could protect police officers from this, from being under investigation.
And that is dangerous. And that is so dangerous. And the thing about it
isn't dangerous, alone, all of this falls back on the Police Service Commission.
Yes.
Because you know why? It speaks to illiteracy. Because as a senior police officer, because Alexander is of the rank of superintendent or something like that, you can come out in the public and ask the commissioner a question like that.
And you want protection. And in
a protection like that, you supposed to ask your commissioner of police that in private. Look, now I could come back and throw it in all your face based on what is going on with this issue with Gary Griffith.
But and you see,
I can come back and throw it back in all your face. Police not wearing body cams. No. Is this part of the reason why police not wearing body cams?
Well, and that is the thing, because you had about 30-something police shootings and killings. And when you ask the question, where's the body cams? They can't tell you nothing. They can't show you nothing. They could get the footage of a people building. Just like the 3 people who was murdered in Mova. And what we were told, what we were told. And listen by who? So if it is that the report came in that the fellas and them was running like the usual suspecting,
Yeah.
then how do we believe that these things actually took place if they don't have the body cams? And this is thing that Gary Griffith came to the nation and said, promised that he will use, and they never use it. So are we saying that we are going to allow a police commissioner to continue to talk and no action basically? Because here it is, or you went in a premises, or you raid a place, you know, based on that way you're going to take up things for investigation, but people sticking all kind of money. What's the money? And you telling me, the police commissioner is jump out and support the boys, and I do have a problem with you supporting your boys, but support them on the right thing, not the wrong thing.
Right, because all they tell mothers when they cry for the sons, when they kill them,
always a good boy.
There's always a good boy, and it's the same behavior we now pattern we seeing happening with the commissioner of police and the police service.
Yes.
Right.
And that is why it has to be it is very dangerous. Very, very, very dangerous when you have a runaway train like a police commissioner acting in that kind of behavior. It is dangerous. It is so dangerous.
And it's sad in this country today to know that such a serious investigation is coming out of the police service. And people in Trinidad and Tobago, whilst they want to point finger at other people, right? And whilst they have issues with other things, other like issues, right? Like for instance with Watson Duke and what's happening with the PSA and the funds that the 500,000 they have $1 million, whatever, right? The same people don't have a problem with this full allegation that took place under Gary Griffith.
Because
they don't have no problem with it, and I can't understand how we could be so indifferent, depending on what side of the defense we support.
But one of the things that we had to be watching and be mindful of in the coming days is the new political party that we see emerging. And it is emerging very, very, very in front of our face. That don't be surprised, you will see who will be heading this new political party. Because for them big wigs to just jump out and say that they're representing and they want to find out why Gary has not brought his contract to the public domain and say, well, look, this is my contract. It started on this, it finished on this, this is how much money I'm supposed to be getting, this is what I can do, this is what I can't do, and all these different things. Why Gary has not brought his contract to the public domain instead of laying threats? Because the same way how the same people, and I will tell you this, the same way how the same people who was condemning Abu Bakr for the statements he would have made, because they say that he overthrew the country in 1990. Yes, he overthrew the country in 1990 and he made statements to effect some time ago. Here it is, you have a police commissioner, a former police commissioner, acting commissioner now, making the same sort of threats.
Well, he can always say that the threats that he laid was to put legal action in effect.
But you can't tell somebody I given it 24 hours. Because that was the same thing that the tone, propaganda.
The tone.
The propaganda they send them put on a page, you know.
Yeah.
And said Abu Bakr said that.
Yeah.
But the tone in which he said,
the tone.
I am giving you until tomorrow.
Yeah. The tone.
Come on. Were you telling me? You the police commissioner.
He's acting, rather than acting diplomatically like a commissioner, or a former commissioner of police, he's coming up more like a bad boy or a gangster.
Thank you. And here it is. I'm telling you, it is very, very, very dangerous when you have people.
Somebody with that kind of character sitting in that chair. Because we have seen where, in the past, in several countries, where the military has been responsible
for overthrowing
and doing assassinations and what have you. And I don't care what nobody say, Gary's behavior is bordering on
a number of things.
I love it.
A number of things. And those who want to keep backing him and want to keep saying, Gary, we love you. Gary, we there for you. Let me tell you something. As I said, and I'll say it again. The 20% of people who he was bashing and attacking,
He should have listened to them.
he should have listened to us.
Should have listened to us.
And let me tell you something.
Should
For
have.
a police commissioner, for those people, and you know what this hurt me? It's when I could see people like Kim Cole and them, and I could call the name now for this one. People like Kim Cole and Karen Bart Alexander and all them women and them who jumping out of themselves and backing and supporting Gary Griffith. Or you think before you talk now, because you don't understand. This man has been going in women in boxes. Going in women in
He was
boxes.
in my inbox, you know.
Thank you. You attacking people in the media.
He was in
You
my inbox,
attacking-
you know. I screenshot it, you know.
Okay.
And I put it up on Facebook for people to see, you know.
So it is there. So you telling me, and it's the same worthless and nasty behavior who are going in people in boxes, and that is the things that will be going before the Police Service Commission, so that they will see the kind of level of thinking that this man, who I want to put as a police commissioner, has no respect for women in this country. And I will tell you, I have no beef
And
against. They're trying to
They're
interfere.
they're trying to interfere.
You understand? You understand?
Yeah.
They're trying to interfere because they know for a fact that we have the information.
Yeah.
We're going to bring it before the Police Service Commission, and to hell with all of them who vex. Because at the end of the day, no woman should be abused by no man in this society like that. And Gary Griffith knows what he was doing was wrong.
Yeah. He come in my inbox. Come in my inbox. He's a commissioner of police, and when people make comments, right? Because I have been a talk show host in this country. When people make comments, you have a problem with it. You're picking up your phone and calling the employers. You're coming in the inbox. Come on. Come on.
Those days.
I have people who screenshot his comments, come in the inbox and make comments,
You
and they
understand?
screenshot it and they send it for me.
There are women who crying and they're screenshotting these things. Imagine you actually attack a prison, a woman who works in the state penitentiary, and yourself she living in Trinidad, but the woman working in the state penitentiary as a prison officer, a senior to you in Trinidad, and you talking about you, come on. These are the kind of man, these are the kind of men that some of you all women want to be put into office.
Into office.
This come like just like we
Into
saying
office.
that
But even we don't even have to go. We don't even have to go inbox. We don't even have to go. He does it publicly. Look at the kind of remarks as a commissioner of police. Look the kind of remarks he made to Rhoda Barat.
You understand?
Yeah. Just imagine. Now I put a comment on somebody's post, and as I told you all, my comment was very vague. And as I said, it is not only that alone, but it's sex, lies, and babies. He commented that I must call names, right?
And he telling you must remain single.
Right, but here what he when I responded back to him now, here what he responded back to tell me how is because you're good looking. Why you have to remain single? I don't know who told him I'm single.
I don't
Baby,
understand that.
I'm not single, Gary. For your information, not only am I single, my man is much younger than you, and he's better looking than you. Hi, baby.
But one has to ask yourself the question.
They were laughing. And they're going nice and young. I'm
Yeah.
like,
No, but what I like is, well, they more like you too. He going ball, but what? No, but one has to ask yourself the question. One has to ask yourself the question. Christmas will be coming very soon. And we will have to be singing the parang song. Sarah, Sarah,
Sarah, Sarah, Sarah.
Sarah. So you understand? So when the thing happening, we will have to go and I'm calling, and really and truly, this is something serious, eh? We will have to be calling on the Prime Minister. We had to call on the Prime Minister, and we had to call in Cabinet to deal with this situation seriously tomorrow, because if he goes further what he does, we continue to do. If he has to go under house arrest, then so be it.
But no, and we have to close off. Let me Let me close up by saying this, therefore, because I was raising a good point there just now. But Gary Griffith's behavior, he is obviously a runaway tree, right? He has shown that he does not submit to authority.
No.
Right? He has shown that he's very controversial and confrontational. Right? He has shown that he's prepared to put national security business and drag it through mud. He's shown that. National, because he's dragging national security through the mud right now. I am saying that Gary Griffith was appointed, right, despite that he was not the top man in the process, right? And initially, he became commissioner of police. However, many of us said, give him a chance. We give him a chance. We have seen what he took that chance and did. Kamala Prasad and the UNC did the same thing. They got one of the best mandates of 29 seats. I keep reminding people that in this country, they had oil at over $120 a barrel. They had a cabinet of some 43 to 44 members. They had a 5-party coalition.
That everything,
they had everything a $65 billion budget, and they had first female prime minister. And yet still, they squandered the opportunity that we gave to them. And you know what happened after they squandered the opportunity? They turn around and they blame we, the public. They turn around and they blame the EBC. They turn around and blame the parent. And same plot. Same plot to destroy the UNC and to bring down the UNC
and to steal
the election and to destabilize the country. Same thing with Gary Griffith. You came in from behind. You got the position. You use legal legal means. You use legal means in order to challenge the process, and you got in. What did you do with it? You squandered just like Kamala Prasad and the UNC. Wait, I'm saying that to say, and especially in this last round of him and his behavior, it is an indictment on the Police Service Commission that someone like Gary Griffith sits in the chair as Commissioner of Police. And if his tenure is up with a behavior like that, the Police Service Commission should not allow itself to find themselves in a position to put him back there again. Because let me tell you something, if you didn't nip it in the bud, if you didn't stop that train, imagine if that train should get away, bust open the gates.
But that's it there for we, no?
That's it for the Police Service Commission, because right now, who is the head of the Police Service Commission?
Miss
Bliss. Miss Bliss' reputation and the Police Service Commission reputation is on the line, you know. And I want to ask, because I standing strong as a citizen of this country behind the Police Service Commission. You know why? Gary Griffith ain't bigger than the Police Service. The Police Service and National Security bigger than Gary Griffith. And I want to see, because there are plenty of people in this country talking a sort of bullshit about them don't know who is Gary, they interfere with the wrong person and whatnot. Well, I really want to see if the Police Service, if Miss Bliss, because I'm standing strong behind Miss Bliss, if Miss Bliss and the Commission is going to be allowed that kind of character, that kind of bullying, disrespectful character, because the office of the commissioner is not only to solve crime, but he has a responsibility to uphold the integrity and the sanctity and the democracy of the office of Commissioner of Police. And he must not, if it is he's bringing the police service into disrepute, if he's bringing them into public odium, if he's dragging the police business in the mud in the public, if he's washing the police dirty linens in the street, I am saying, pack your ass and let him go. Let me see who is boss. He could run up and down the court step how much you want. Not this time around, Miss Bliss. Not this time around, Police Service Commission. I leave it there with that, and I give Devon the opportunity now to close off.
Well, I just want to say thanks for all the people who would have been locked on and listening to this live. And tomorrow, let's see whether or not if the courthouse, let's see if the courthouse will be packed tomorrow. But I will be in downtown Port-of-Spain.
But does the court have any purview over industrial relations?
Well, no.
He really is matter released for the industrial court.
Yes. But he's going to the court to try to look at the constitutional part of it. And then trying to go over to the industrial court. But I don't know if the judge might tell him tomorrow, hey, Smarty, you gotta go to the industrial court. And then when you fight a case in the industrial court, then he could come over to the high court.
Let me ask you something. Is there any way we could pay this buffoon, like how we pay off Gates and the Watsi, and then I'm go away? Is there any way we could pay him and let him go away?
But
this country can do without Gary Griffith.
We don't have to pay him.
Well, if it is that the point I'm making is, we don't want him. We do not want him.
You remember his contract has come to an end now. So if the contract comes to an end, he's supposed to get gratuity to that effect, and he's supposed to be packing the bags and going away. If it is
right out in the sunset.
Right.
But
if it is that they leave you to act in the position for a while, he can act for 3 days. We don't know.
A year.
We
don't know.
Until, because McDonald Jacob only acting.
But when you name acting in the commissioner of police on 6 occasions.
You understand? So Stephen Williams act until he acted me out.
And at Gladys we say Stephen Williams, and I know we say we go in, but you know, when you really look back at Stephen Williams, we could say what we want, you know.
Stephen Williams had more integrity.
He had more character. The man had more character. Look how much time they make that man like nobody never hear that man make no outbursts like that. And then you turn around and watch a man like Stephen Williams, who's also an attorney at law, and disrespect the man and all kind of man, something wrong with you, Gary Griffith and Trinidad and Tobago. We just be encouraging these kind of people because it's the same thing happening in our communities. Many of us glorifying and putting up certain people on a pedestal in our communities. And it's the same thing, this bad boy behavior with Gary Griffith. Like, he go away, tell Gary Griffith, pack his bag and go. Who don't want to tell him that it's a business? I, Juliet Davy, telling him, Gary Griffith, pack your bag and go. Folks, we leave it here. It was nice.
See you all.
Bye.